Hi everyone, welcome back. My name is Shruti. In this video, I will show you how to use hooks in Playwright. Okay, so before that, I will give you an example to make you understand why we actually use hooks. Okay, so imagine you are working on a client presentation. Okay, so before the meeting starts, what we usually do, we book the conference room and we connect our laptop to the projector and we ensure that internet connection is stable. Okay, so these are all the things we do before the meeting starts. Okay, so once the meeting is over, what we do, we close the presentation and clear the meeting room for the next stream. Correct. Similarly, in automation also, there are certain actions we want to perform before and after the test runs. Okay, so this is where hooks come into play. Okay, so just remember, before and after the test runs we want to perform certain, or we want to execute certain codes. Okay, so that is where hooks comes into play. Okay. Okay, so in Playwright, there are four types. One is before all, after all, before each, and after each. So these are all four types of hooks in Playwright. Okay, so before all. Okay, so as the name indicates, it executes before all the tests. Okay, and it executes only once. Just remember, before all executes only once before all the test gets executed. Okay, and after all. Okay, this also executes only once after all the test scripts getting executed. Okay, this also executes only once after the test. Okay, after all the tests, remember, after all the tests. Okay, next one is before each. Okay, so before each. Okay, so this block executes before each test. Okay, suppose if you have 10 test blocks in our spec file, means it will execute 10 times before the test block getting executed. Okay, and after each also execute after each tests. Okay, so before each execute before each test, and after each executes after each tests. Okay, so suppose if you have 5 test blocks in our spec file, it means after each executes 5 times after each test blocks. Okay. Okay, so the syntax is very simple. Okay, test and the hook name. Test dot hook name before all, after all, before each, or after each. And after this, just use asynchronous arrow function. So this is arrow function. As you know, this is an arrow function, and since we are using async, it is an asynchronous arrow function. And write the code you want to execute before or after the test. Okay. Okay, so now to show you this, I will use google.com. Okay, so before that, I'll show you that in before all block. Okay, so in before all block, what I will do is I will launch the browser. So what we will do, we will launch the browser. In before all, we will launch the browser. So what it will do, it will execute only once. It means it will just launch the browser and that's it. And in after all, we will close the browser. In after all, we will close the browser. So once all the tests getting executed, then it will close the browser. Okay, and in before each we will launch the URL. Okay, so in before all we will launch the browser, and in before each we will launch the URL. Okay, and in after each, what we will do is we will just give a completion note saying the test is completed. Okay. Okay, so now let us I've already created the spec file hooks.spec, and I will use google.com. Okay, so import, as you know, import, and here I'm importing test function and page class and chromium object. I will explain why I'm importing all these things. And browser from where? From Playwright test. Okay, so we need to import all these things. Okay, then let browser colon browser. Okay, so I will explain. Then let page colon page. Okay. Okay, so here this page is a class and browser is also class and chromium is an object. Okay, so this object provides some method for us to launch the chromium browser. Okay, it gives some method to launch the chromium browser. Okay, then this browser is a variable and page is also variable. Okay, so here this browser variable holds the browser instance. Okay, it holds the browser instance, and here this page variable holds the page instance, page or tab. Okay. Okay, so now let us put all these hooks inside the describe block. Okay, so how to create this describe block? Test dot describe and name. So here I'm explaining hooks. So I will say hooks and asynchronous function. Sorry, the arrow function. Okay, so I've declared the describe block. So inside this I can use test and hooks. Okay, so first, which one we have to use? The first one is before all. Okay, sorry. So test dot before all and async asynchronous arrow function. So here write the code you want to execute before all the tests getting executed. Okay, so what I want to do here, I want to launch the browser. Okay, so before that I'll just use the console statement. Okay, console.log launch the browser. Okay, so here how to launch the browser is equal to, so I've already declared the browser here. Browser is equal to await chromium dot launch browser. Okay, chromium dot launch. So this method is used to launch the browser. Okay, and here I will say headless is equal to false. Okay, so it means it will open the sorry, browser colon false. If I will not give anything means it will execute in headless mode. Then await page dot browser, sorry, then page is equal to await browser dot new page. Okay, so this is to launch the browser and this is to open the page. Okay, this statement is to launch the browser and this is to open the page. Okay, browser is equal to await dot chromium launch, it will launch the browser. Okay, chromium browser. Then browser dot new page is, so here I'm taking the browser, in this browser I'm opening the new page. Okay, so this will open the new page. Then so what we need to do next is after all. Next is after all. So test dot after all async arrow function. So I'll write a console statement, console.log So here what I'm doing, I'm closing the browser. So write a statement, close the browser. So how to close the browser? Await browser dot close. This will close the browser. Okay, so before all and after all is done. So now what we need to do, before each. Okay, so what we need to do in before each, we want to launch the URL, correct? So test dot before each async await page dot go to. So here I'll copy the URL. So this is to launch the browser. So here I'll give a console statement to say launching the browser. Sorry, launching the URL. So now after each async asynchronous arrow function. So I will just give a console statement console.log. So test is completed. I just want to print the statement test is completed. Okay. So now we will write a actual test. Okay. So far we have done what we want to execute before the test and after the test. So here we'll write actual test. Okay. So test. So test name is, I will say test one. I'll write two test. Okay. Test one. So here I want to search for playwright automation. Search for playwright automation. Async, sorry, async. So here I'm not passing the page instance because I've already declared the page instance globally. Okay. Okay. So now what we need to do, we need to inspect this element and enter text. Okay. So let us inspect the search box. So placeholder is not there. Let us take Arial label search. Arial label is equal to value is search. Search. Okay. Square bracket. So one matching element. I will take text area also. Okay. Let us copy this. Await page dot fill locator comma the value. So what we want to search? We want to search playwright automation. Okay. So after searching, I want to press enter. So how to press enter? Await page dot keyboard dot press what I want to press. I want to press enter. So press enter. After this, I'll just print a console statement saying test one execution is completed. So now I'll write test 2. Test 2. So here I will search JavaScript tutorial. I'll make it async. So here I'll copy the same code and will just type, I will enter JavaScript. Okay. Okay. I'm saving. So now let us execute this. Okay. I'll change the spec name. Let us execute this. I'm saying worker is equal to 1. Okay. Two tests because we have two tests here. See here it launched the browser and opened the page here. Type JavaScript tutorial and two test passed. Okay. So let us see the output. I'll take this command and execute this. We will see the report. Okay. Okay. So this is actually test one. Where it is? Sorry. Let me run the report again. So we'll see the detailed report and we will see that how the hooks got executed. Okay. So in before hooks, before all, before each, and after hooks. See, before hooks executed once and after hooks executed once. Okay. And I'll show you here only. So here launch the browser. This is inside the before all. Okay, so this executed only once, and closing the browser, this executed after all the test is executed. Okay, so launching the URL, this is before each, correct? I'll just take this little down. See, launching the URL and launching the URL, this executed twice because we have two tests, so it executed twice. So it executed, see, launching the URL is in before each block, and this got executed before the test got executed. Okay, so here the test one is completed, this is the test, and test one is completed, this is the second test. Okay, so this is how we use hooks in Playwright. Okay. And if you think you learned something from this video, please help me by liking the video. Okay. And please subscribe to my channel. And thank you so much for watching this video.